Welcome to the Headless DAM with Cloudinary Bootcamp course. I am Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator, and also your host throughout this entire bootcamp. If you have any questions, as always, get a hold of me right there, marcelo@headlesscreator.com. In this interview with Kristen Dunne, Technical Customer Success Manager at Cloudinary and a presenter in this bootcamp, you're going to learn all about media manipulation and transformation. So without further ado, let's get her on. Kristen, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Hey, Marcelo. Happy to be here.
Well, thank you for doing this interview. Looking forward to your lesson, which is available in the not the foundation section, but the advanced section of this bootcamp, actually. But real quick, before we get started, tell us a bit about your background. How did you get into technology, and into Cloudinary?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been at Cloudinary for coming up on a year now. And before Cloudinary, I was at a company that had a document management system for about 4 years. And so at that company, I focused mainly on support and mainly on on-premise support. So, it's a lot of technologies that are, it's taking a little bit more time to get up to current trends in cloud and such with, that kind of industry. So I had a lot of really nice hands-on experience, a lot of technical work with different systems and that whole suite there. I did move throughout a lot of different projects as a small company. So I got to help start up a training program. I got to help, hire and train a lot there. I got to work on a lot of, document work. And so gained a lot of foundational work there. I actually took a little bit of time off. I have a nice side love for restaurant industry. So I bartended for about a year and then.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was awesome. So a little refresher, just kind of a break, and then came back around and pieced all the different things that I like together. I love presenting. I love, working with customers. I love making sure that, a whole project goes from beginning to end. It's actually where I left at my last company, was a project manager. So I came into Cloudinary very fitting in the customer success role. Thankfully found it. Get to, be kind of that main point of contact, one-stop shop for customers, going more into the cloud realm, more into the, new world of technology. First time working with media, but it's been a really cool experience. And technology as a whole, it's been really a whole life thing, I think, as early as I can remember, like 3, 4, 5 years old. I was doing a lot of, little workshops and boot camps and programs for tech. And then all throughout middle school and high school, I was heavily involved with a program called FIRST. It's for inspiration and recognition of science and technology. It's an awesome robotics program, very big program, phenomenal, lots of, different age groups. And so I did that for a lot of years, and then ended up doing a lot of volunteer work, making programs for that and helping out with different teams in the area. So it's been, great experience getting into tech. And it's kind of funny because it's just always moving forward and something I'm not sure I'll ever get out of. I love it though.
Technology is a great thing to be in. On the robotics side, did you do programming programming, building, the whole thing?
Yeah, definitely. So in middle school, it's actually with Lego. So you definitely do a lot of, hands-on with that. And then in high school, I started in mechanical. So started with the building and then ended up finding my way more on the programming side. So, a lot of the programming there, there's an option for like a drag and drop type of programming.
Right.
We went ahead and went with Java though. So I got some nice foundation with the Java and, building out programs for the autonomous portion. And then, also you have the teleoperated. So how to do it with a remote control. So It's a really nice introduction.
That's awesome. That's really cool. What's your favorite drink to mix? Going back to your bartending days.
Old fashioned. Solid. It's yeah.
So are you the de facto bartender in parties?
Naturally, it has to happen. Always have to bring a signature drink and whatever the theme is. I love little themed parties and make the people happy. And yeah, it's a nice.
It's a great talent to have.
It's a blast.
Definitely. So, what's your favorite hobby, or do you have a hobby, or what do you love to do?
Yeah. I'm somebody that I think just bops around and does a ton of different things. On the bartending thing, I have some beer brewing in the background. I think that
Nice.
I would say I've gotten very into about 3 or 4 years ago, I started running triathlons. And so I got very into, I would say, more of the fitness side of things that I had not done before. And it's been a really nice outlet. But on that page, biking, I live in Chicago, so it's the best thing in the world. It's great access everywhere. It's the best mind release of anything. So I'd say biking, and then the last year or two, I've been really getting into yoga too. So I think those two are my, kind of escape from reality and life, and always put a smile on my face and give me a refresher and get my mind off technology for a little bit. So love them.
Yoga and a drink, and you're completely relaxed. Right?
Exactly.
You got the perfect. All right. So real quick, and I know you're going to go into detail on your lesson on this, but let's jump in with a little bit about media manipulation transformation. Can you define both of those, and what is the difference between both of them?
Yeah, definitely. So I think that they go pretty hand in hand. I think that by manipulating media, you transform it. The way that I broke it down in my presentation is more so on a transformation would maybe, and these can apply to any type of media. So I know that you've learned about the different formats, different types for image, video, et cetera. And so with any type of media, you can, completely make a new derived version or a new form of that. And so maybe that's what I would consider a transformation. You're completely changing it. Maybe you're updating the format. You're looking at, different quality that you're going to have, a totally new kind of asset. Maybe with manipulation, it's going to be a little bit more on the page of aesthetics, or you're going to have that original piece of media that you had, and you're just kind of changing the looks of it, changing it for your own personalization or need for whatever type of site, business need, et cetera, that you might have. So yeah, I think that jumping into, a few different examples, I talked about, updating the format, updating quality, resizing, cropping. We'll look at a lot of different, ways of doing that actually hands-on through an interface, as well as through URL, showing how you can do it programmatically. And then also for aesthetic, you have a lot of what you see in, Photoshop or something similar to that, where you can add effects, you can make it grayscale, you can put different overlays for watermarks or for different text on top of an image or a video. You can concatenate, you can put different videos together. So, I think that manipulation does make a piece of media transformed regardless, but I would consider, anything a transformation that you're doing, but manipulation to be a little bit more on maybe just having that original piece still very present and pulling through to the audience.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, with both manipulation and transformation, is that can only be done through tools, or can it also be done through, let's say, an API?
Yeah, it can absolutely be done through API as well. So I think that's an awesome part, and you'll see some of that in the demo as well. Won't be looking at the API specifically, but you'll understand from, with Cloudinary specifically as an example, you can update the URL of an image, and I think that you've seen that in past demos. To get that new URL, you can use an API, just throw a few different parameters in there and say, hey, I want to have this new size. And then it'll generate that URL for you. And programmatically, you can do that on a mass scale. So you can manipulate all 1,000 images in specified ways at one time through API. So I think that that's, a really awesome part about where technologies come with media, is that was something really hard to handle, 10, 15 years ago, is maybe there wasn't the easiest way to programmatically do that, or, do it for a whole site, or do it for a certain web page on the site, for whatever those specific needs are. So yeah, I think that's a great way. You can you kind of do those hand in hand and bounce off each other, doing it through UI, and also doing it programmatically for one page, a whole site, an image, whatever you'd like. But API is very helpful with media.
It makes a lot of sense. And I know in the lesson, you're going to cover a lot more detail on that. So Kristen, thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this interview. If people want to get a hold of you, that email you got down there is the best way.
Yes, it is. Feel free to reach out about anything. Always happy to talk and learn more.
Kristen, thank you so much. And thanks to the rest of you for watching this interview. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, get a hold of me right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. Cheers.